Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today we will be hunting on the Ice Plateau of Cyrene, which is where we are. And we're going to be going after some dusters, but before we do, I'm going to grab the duster repeatable quest from the rookie training area. So before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, please consider going to patreon.com/JulianMcBain if you want to support my work. If you do, you will get access to the ebooks The Modern Entropian and Personal Finance for Gamers for being a member. And I'm developing a couple of other things to throw in there as well, so keep your eyes peeled. So we're going to be hunting dusters, and the Torellians hate the dusters. Which, I love Torellian armor. I have a set of Torellian armor. It looks cool. But wanted to make sure I had the quest because they give you skills. And this is that's about the halfway point, I guess. Hey, Kat. Thank you for coming. If y'all are wondering about the audio, and I'm sure I'll have to mention this a couple of times, I am currently using my Razer headset because took a ride down to Best Buy, went to replace the microphone. They were out of stock. So here we are. That's okay. I might actually get the new microphone as early as before Friday. I might have it for Friday, so I'm really hoping that pulls through. Because I'm not thrilled with the change in my audio quality. But we do what we have to. The show must go on. So, okay, I returned to Cyrene, and I go into this a little bit in tomorrow's video, but I came to Cyrene, and the first thing I noticed is that the map's changed. And all my favorite hunting spots are now gone. So I've got to completely relearn Cyrene because the landforms are all bigger. There are several new island chains. This wasn't here. That was all underwater. This was a couple of small islands. Now it's one big landform, and all of the mobs that are there are much higher level. There used to be nice low-level Panleons there. Now the Panleons there will eat my face. So, I'm relearning Cyrene. And, no, wrong one. That's the one I want. And for those wondering why I'm on Cyrene before migration is technically over, well, Mindark kind of put a crimp to that. See, migration was going well, and I was getting a lot of the, I was on course to finish the Iron mission on time. It was going to be close, but I was on course to do it. I had a couple of nights this week set aside just to burn through the points, just to make sure I made it on time. I was going to do it. And then the final week of migration came along, and they got rid of all of the spawns. Whoops. This gives you skills too. Except the level 32s and 35s, which I made an attempt. It was kind of amusing. I got hit 4 times and died. So obviously that didn't work. So I said bag it, and I came to Cyrene. And with all of the stuff that's changed, I'm going to have to spend some time here. Because I now need to relearn a lot. Like, there used to be a lot of good low-level stuff in Panton Jungle for Panleons. There are some mid-level ones, like my level ones, but there's also a lot of level 71s mixed in. Learned that the hard way. And then over here, there's a lot of low-level Panleons. They're all tameable, actually, if you have a whip. But all the dusters are gone. And the dusters here, I think, are lower level than they used to be. I think they used to be level 20, and now they're level 14, which is much more my level. So that's good. But there's been a lot of changes to Cyrene. I'm not saying it's bad. Change isn't always bad. It means the planet's evolving. But I came here with a good knowledge of the way the planet worked. And now, like, 99% of that knowledge is kind of useless. Ugh. So, and part of it's my fault. If I had paid attention, I would have found out they made the changes back in December. This is what I get for not paying attention to the forums. I missed. I will say that Cyrene's loot table is still as good as ever. I couldn't hope for numbers like that on Calypso. Not even close. So who do we have in chat tonight? I know Kat's there. Kenrick, are you there? Who else do we got going here? Global 125 ped. That is a great start to a stream. That is a fantastic start to a stream. Thank you, Mindark. Hey, Game Citizen. Ah, okay. You know you're going to have a good stream when you have a global in the first 10 minutes. Hey, come back here. Boy, that was a good chunk of loot. You know, I have to admit, I've missed Cyrene a lot. I don't know, there's something about the feel of the planet that I really enjoy. Maybe because it's supposed to be unsettled, like they're just colonizing it, so there's a frontier aspect to it, right? Hey, Red Devil, thank you for joining. But there's something about Cyrene, like the first time I came here, you can find my first Cyrene video, I was very disappointed. And I left, and then I thought, you know what, I didn't give it a fair shot. And when I came back and gave it a fair shot, I fell in love with the planet. And I think it's to my own detriment that I've historically only made it back here for a month out of every year that I've played Entropia Universe, this being my third time. I think I'm going to go a little longer this time. I think part of the reason is, you know, Calypso has a lot of the things. But I found that when I went to Monria, over starting at New Year's, because I went to Monria for New Year's and I stayed there until St. Patrick's Day, so I was there for 3 months. I learned so much about Monria, about the feel of the moon, about the people who hunted on the moon. You don't really get that just staying there for a few weeks or for 1 month. You really have to dig in and get into the way the planet operates. And so I haven't made my decision on what to do about Mayhems yet. I may or may not participate. I should participate, but oh crap, it's probably because I'm under attack. We got lag. This is not uncommon on Cyrene, unfortunately. No, I don't. There we go. But they do require a lot of resources. Like, you've gotta have the ped set aside, you have to have the ammo set aside. And I mean, they're my favorite events, don't get me wrong. But they're a time sink, and they're a money sink, and the higher level you get, the more it is. And so I don't know if Halloween Mayhem's going to happen. We'll figure that out when we get there. I've often said I'm going to skip the Mayhem and then I jump into a Mayhem because I love doing Mayhem. So I'm not going to say we're not going to do them. I am going to say I'm considering not doing them. Yes, it was 125 ped Red Devil. And it happened about 2 or 3 minutes before you hopped in. Speaking of which, we're going to down a pill here. Just to make life easier, I'm going to take one of my loot pills. Save me on clicks during the live stream. So I want to thank everyone for joining me. If you could please do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider hitting subscribe. And if you're wondering about my audio, for those who are revisiting, the new microphone is on the way. My beloved Blue Yeti, unfortunately, for those of you who have been to a couple of my most recent live streams, the gain died. Could not get it to function properly. Brought it back to Best Buy. My friends at Geek Squad are replacing it. However, there is a shortage of microphones currently. Like, they were wiped out. No joke. Wiped out. And so, once that microphone comes in, it might be as early as this week, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be next week with all the shipping delays that have been happening lately. But I'm on the Razer headset until that microphone comes in. So please bear with me on the audio quality. I know it's not my usual form, but it's a heck of a lot better than my poor dead Yeti was when it comes to clarity, because there was a lot of interference, there's a lot of crackle. But we do have a new one coming on the way, so that's going to be good. So, how many of you have been to Cyrene for any length of time? I'm curious. Because I love the planet. They've got cool mobs, they've got very distinct biospheres. The loot table's fantastic. I think it might be second only to Monria, and even then that's a close. Not bad. There's a lot of variety. I forgot how much variety. Oh. This. Why is this necessary? Creature meat from any creature on Cyrene. I really hope I took that out of his ration bag and not off his person. Because if that came off his person, that would be disturbing. Oh yeah, there's the maze. I forgot it. Well, I didn't forget about the maze, but I forgot a hammer came with it. That's located up here. That's gonna happen while I'm here this time. Gotta find the breadcrumb quest. But yes, I'd forgotten about the hammer you can get in the maze. I knew there was a pretty cool quest item you could get from it. That is absolutely going to happen. There we go. Meet the Trevellans. Ooh, navy paint. What's the markup on navy paint? 128. That's going to be nice. That's one thing. Paint is pretty... It's not common, but it's a heck of a lot easier to get on Cyrene than it is on Calypso. With the stipulation that you gotta smuggle it back. Oh, right, Devil. You gotta get off Calypso. If you've been playing more than a year, it's time to get off Calypso. And Cyrene was the first planet I came to. And I've been to Ark, I've been to Next Island, I've been to Toulon, I've been to Monria. I've stopped by Rocktropia. I've never actually taken the time to explore it. Every time I land there, I get flashbacks to the 80s. But I know I gotta do it. Maybe that'll come up, and maybe that'll be one of the places I visit next year. There's so much to do on the other planets now, though. Like, Next Island is stepping up, and then Virtual Sense acquired Toulon, or merged with Team Toulon. So now Monria and Toulon are being administered by the same company. There's just a lot of good stuff coming up, and I want to do all the things, you know? I want to do all of it, but there's so much content to be had, and there's only one of me. And I'm serious when I say, if you really want to get a feel for a place, you have to spend time there. Like, to this day, I know for a fact I have not given enough time to Arcadia, although I spent quite a bit of time. Oh no, I spent at least 2 months on Arcadia, because I spent a month just getting the stupid passport, which was a whole bunch of sweating. There it is. And no, I didn't buy that sweat. I ground it to get this. The Arcadia passport. I honestly wish that other planets would implement something like this, where you can become a citizen of the planet. Especially since, like, you have the Monrian-born program, now they're going to implement the Toulon-born program. And unfortunately, the way that MindArc set this up, it's not easy to really know that if you just go straight through, you're going to end up on Calypso. I really wish that there was an option where you could just select what planet you'd be placed on, so you could have that option through that particular planet's site. And to a certain extent, I get it, because each planet is technically a separate game on a singular platform. It's not like World of Warcraft where you have different expansions or anything like that. But it was, at the same time, it makes it difficult because you have all of these opportunities that you don't even know about until you're in game, and then it's too late. And I mean, I guess there's the good with the bad, you know? Like, even knowing about the Monrian-born program, and I really like all the things they're doing for Monrian-born, I would have to make the decision whether I would be Monrian-born or Cyrene. Because of the loot table, because of the mob patterns, a lot of the trouble I ran into on Calypso, and just the equipment options, a lot of the trouble I ran into on Calypso I would not have had if I had started on Cyrene. But at the same time, that's mostly because my options would be so limited. And then in order to get a spaceship with a space booster, I would have had to import it, which of course costs money. How's my sword doing? Oh, we're still in good shape. Look at all the loot we have already. You know, I have to admit, and I know Kat's gonna just laugh at me for this, but kind of remind me of Klingons. Especially in the new universe. I mean, knife fighting, the tattoos, the strange helmets. They kind of do. The armor. I mean, steampunk variations on them, but still. I don't know why I'm so invested in the story of the Dusters versus the Durelians. I actually wrote a short, which you can find at mcbainmanor.com, which is a story of someone who grew up, a human who grew up with the Durelians. That's after revenge against one particular Duster. And so he goes into the Duster, what the hell is it called? This area, the Duster Hazing Station, where there's, in the story, there's a big group fight going on. Basically an initiation. And he finds that, in his whole shtick, his whole reason for being there is to track down and kill this Duster. I had a lot of fun writing it. And having to come up with a way so that the resurrection terminal system would not res the Duster. Because, I mean, you know, murder's great, but if the person just comes back to life, what's the point? God, someone's going to clip that totally out of context, and it's going to be terrible. I do need to go back to some of these places that I did not, that I had struggles with the last time I was here, and see how well I do, because I've leveled up, and I want to know how well I do against higher level mobs here. Unfortunately, the higher level Menshen are no longer here. It's just level 11s and 14s. I gotta find more of them, and the Menshen up here are too high a level. I do want to visit the volcano, but I need an antidote shot because it is a contaminated zone, which I couldn't remember if it was a contaminated zone because I used to think that the red meant contaminated. Come to find out, it just means it's a lootable PvP. The volcano is still contaminated. Yep, found that out the hard way. It's like, oh, it does say contaminated, then I died. My Sleipnir was moving too fast. Come on. Don't get stuck with your friends. You're the next one to the soul harvest. Uh-oh. This is the one trouble with Cyrene, is that the mobs, they will totally draw you into them. And then you end up just mobbed. No pun intended. And I don't know if it's deliberate, or if it's just a function of the wander mechanics of Cyrene mobs, but it's effective. They effectively draw you in. And then all of a sudden you're surrounded. And when you have a bunch of dusters or a bunch of robots beating on you, you tend not to last long. That's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to visit the robots that, if I remember correctly, are in here. Yeah, or maybe it's over. No, it's over here. Assuming they're still there. Speaking of which, I don't know if these guys are classified as mutants. I'm getting skinning. Am I getting scourging? I'm not. That's interesting. Which means dusters are classified as animals, not as mutants. I wonder why that is. Not that I'm complaining, my looter skill in my looter profession for animals is way higher than my mutant looter, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, if that makes sense. I want to thank everybody who's in the channel right now, all 8 of you. Thank you so much for coming. 9. Awesome. Please, if you enjoy what I do, please consider smashing the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 13 million, but for this year, my goal has been 1,000. I haven't even made 500 yet. We're almost into September, so any help you could provide would be greatly appreciated. I really like, if I can't make 1,000 this year, I'd love to get as close as I can. And the YouTube algorithm doesn't like the way I do my channel very much, so every little bit helps. You know, it's funny, I actually used to live in a place that looked like this in the winter. Not exactly like this, but close enough. You look out into the over yonder, and all you see is flat light. That's it. And it's flat as far as the eye can see. And when the wind blew, there was nothing to stop it. Alright, light green. What would you call that? I think that's like mint. Kind of reminds me of mint chocolate chip ice cream, although I'm not sure I'd want to eat this. More flesh. Ugh. It's like it's a quiet night in chat. Is it because I haven't brought up food yet? Is that what it is? Yeah, see? Mint. See, I brought up food. People are talking. You know, I know that Cyrene has had some events. Oh, no problem, Cat. I was just a little surprised that it was as quiet as it is. It happens. I've never been on Cyrene for an actual event except for when the Titans of Space did their touring Entropia universe. I popped in for a chunk of that. And actually, it was just the other day. I want to say it was Saturday. And so we're up on Skylab, which is right here. And the devs are just dropping mobs on us. And there was probably a good 40 people there. And it was a blast. Although, there was so much going on. We were worried that it was going to crash the server at one point. The devs actually had to like take a step back and be like, whoa, hang on. And actually, one of the devs was even in rezzing people as they fell. I probably got rezzed half a dozen times because our wait timers ended up exceeding a full minute. And there were times when he'd res us, and the first thing that would happen is the mob would charge in and kill the person again. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. But it was a boatload of fun. Okay, we've topped over 100 pet in ammo. So let's convert that and see if we can't get another global going. Wow, a lot of animal eye oil. Markup on this is not usually huge. It's 102. Hey, Game Citizen. So, good to know, Gavin. Thank you. I actually need to catch up with Bonnie. I owe her this ring right here, which I will be donating to one of her streams to give away. So, make sure you pay attention to Bonnie's stream. I have to catch up with her. I'm going to ask her to, when I do finally deliver it, I'm going to ask her to wait a week so I can let you all know, because I want to make sure you all have the opportunity to jump in and into her stream and try to win it. Cat, not really, but the devs of this game do interesting things. I think Titans of Space negotiated that particular one. And it sounds like there's another one coming up this Saturday where you tour the whole universe, and the devs, some of the planets, the devs aren't involved in it. Like, they'll go to a wave spawn, which is something that's pre-set up, and they just complete the wave spawn. Because a lot of them you can't do on your own. You might be able to take all the smaller mobs, but when the boss spawns, you got to have a group, or else it's just going to flatten you. That actually happened to me on this planet once. But the devs in this game are extremely well engaged with their communities, particularly Cyrene and Monria, who go way out of their way to be involved. Next Island's really stepped up. They've started becoming involved, like deeply involved. Next Island dev will pop into people's streams. One of their devs will pop into people's streams. He'll be on the Discord for Entropia Universe. So they're really ramping up the community engagement. Oh, Saturday the 5th, okay. Which I might not make. I think the lodge is starting bingo back up again, and I might need to do the square and compass thing. We'll figure that out. But yeah, it's one of the things that I love about this game is that the devs are part of the community in a lot of cases. Mindark themselves less so, although they have been working on fixing that. That might be cultural, because there's and I don't know a huge amount about Sweden, although my great-grandmother was Swedish. And I mean that literally. I'm not sure if she was on the boat or if she was the first generation off the boat, but she was very, very Swedish. But I think there's almost a cultural taboo against that sort of engagement. But, and I could be wrong about that. It might just be the way that they decided they want to handle things. But Cyrene's group, which I think is based in Singapore, and Monria's group, which is based in Ireland, their community manager's East Coast USA, but the company's based in Ireland. And by extension, Toulon's group, because Toulon and Monria are now owned by the same company. They do a fantastic job reaching out to folks and staying engaged and paying attention. I just, when it comes to gaming, Entropia platform developers of active games, like games that are currently in full release, Entropia platform developers are the best engaged community I have ever experienced. Hi, Jerome. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I need to give a shout out here. Thank you for reminding me. I have yet to shout out my patrons this stream, so big shout out to Spectrum3900 and Game Citizen and Jason Lambertson and Red Kryptonite for being my patrons and providing your support to keep my channel going. I really appreciate it. And that's something else I'm going to be working on here in the near future is ramping up what benefits you get for being a patron. So I will release that information as we go. I'm experimenting with a couple of things. There's a couple of things I need to figure out. And then I will release that information. I don't know if it'll be before the holidays or not, because we're moving into September. School's starting. I'm a single father. This stuff takes time. But I'm working on it. So things that are on the table currently is a patrons only Discord, or to set up my Discord with patrons only benefits in the Discord. And I'm also looking at having a patrons only society in the Entropia universe. So these are all things that are on the table. They've actually all been suggested by patrons that are currently existing. So I am listening to you. It's just a matter of how to implement it, which is not always as simple as it sounds. We're working on it. Let's see. How's our ammo doing? This is one thing. Cyrene does not give Shrap the way Calypso does. They give way more loot, which I think is more beneficial to the player in the long run because you can always trade it for markup, which ultimately is what you want to do. And it's a great way for Cyrene to try to pump prime the economy. It does mean I need to keep careful track of my ammo because I might need to buy ammo, which is something that happens when I'm on Cyrene. And whether I do universal ammo or just make an in-game purchase of ammo using PED depends on the situation. So Jerome, have any of the changes come to Toulon yet? I think they're still in the figuring things out stage. Is that it? Or have you seen anything spectacular happen yet? Because Toulon is gorgeous. Like, hands down, best visuals in Entropia universe, bar none. And part of the reason for that is Toulon was designed for VR. And I didn't know it was specifically designed for VR, but it was 100% designed to be a VR planet. But the platform isn't really VR friendly yet. They're working on that. And I think that might have been why Toulon's had so many issues. But it's absolutely beautiful. And I also have to say something that Toulon did very well is their daily system. Their daily system is fantastic, and I think the only place that has a daily system that's about as developed as Cyrene, because Calypso's daily system is not good. really, at all. Sorry, Mind Arc. It's too random. I've never run into Arcadia's daily system, if it even has one. I didn't run into one on Next Island. I don't even know if Entropia has one. And so, trying to develop those dailies, because a lot of players live on dailies. Those extra skills make it worth it to them. And it's different from a game like WoW, where they're giving you like random extra little bits. This actually gives you skills. Yes, there's a lot of hunting dailies on Toulon. It's actually the only place where I've really done any serious underwater hunting. You can see from the 2 weeks that I spent on Toulon in my video library. I think I only have 4 or 5 videos from Toulon, because there was no means to get around when I visited there without a teleport chip. And let me tell you, hoofing it around the planet kind of sucks. But they have a lot of good going there, and I think that once Team Toulon and Team Monria really get together, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, like bacon bits? Yes, I like bacon bits. I must have missed something I was supposed... I'm sorry, did I say anything? Oh, hey, Jay. Okay, I'm glad to hear that the mining is good. Oh, congratulations. Those hops are hard to come by. I think I've gotten on my own, I've only ever gotten 1 hoff. And that was during a Merry Mayhem a couple of years ago. And I've been involved in 2 other hoffs as shared loot. But it's oh, little bits like bacon bits. Yeah, bacon bits would taste better than what they give you. No, like if you do a cooking daily, they give you an Epicurean award, which you're supposed to be able to trade in for specialty cooking things, but you gotta grind it for like a year. And it's like, I'm not cooking more chicken wings. When the chicken wings are way below my level, it just doesn't make sense. You know, that's one of the things. Like, if they do food in this game, it's just a straight boost. So it doesn't matter if you're way high level or low level. The boost is going to be commensurate with the difficulty of getting the ingredients, and it's still going to help you. And there is no problem with you being punchy. Punchy is usually entertaining. Okay. Yeah, since coming here, the amount of ammo I've had has gone from 900 ped to 600 ped. And I got here the day before yesterday. But the loot, just today, I mean, there's a ton of loot here. We're going to see what the cost to loot ratio is. Keeping in mind that there are some things that are hard to calculate, like actual decay on the sword. Things of that nature. and then ammo burn. Because I did not do the smart thing, which would have been mark down what my ammo was before I started, although I think I need to do that to really calculate whether Cyrene is as profitable as I think it is. Because I think it's a break-even planet, or at least damned close to it. Jerome, live stream schedule is Tuesdays and Fridays, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Thank you, Game Citizen. You have a great evening. Please make sure you hit a like if you haven't yet. I really appreciate your support, both here and on Patreon. So it's 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, or Eastern Time period. And Fridays tend to go long, or if a night's going to go long, it's going to be Friday. It will never be Tuesday, because I work on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and have to get up at 6:30. And I don't know about you, but I can't go straight from a live stream to sleep. My brain don't work that way. I will say, I think we're having some fantastic luck tonight. I will also say that my sword is dying. Yeah. And we still have 700 or so strikes, so we're still good. Hi. I like how it looks like he just beamed in. Entropia universe goes Star Trek. Well, I was calling them Klingons, so I guess that works. I want to thank everyone for watching. If you could all do me a favor and just smash the like button. Or if you're on a mobile device, just slightly tap the like button. I really appreciate all the support. It really helps me break through YouTube's algorithm. Oh, I never answered Game Citizen's question about why YouTube doesn't like the algorithm isn't happy with my channel. I will have to send him a message. But yeah, if you could please hit the like, and then please consider sharing this video to your social media. That helps to break me through and bring more awareness, because what I'm fighting here is obscurity. And that obscurity is the biggest stop to my channel growing. So if you share it out to social media, people learn who I am, that's a huge help, and I really appreciate all the support. You know, I have to just commend Android, the operating system, for asking me to rate my own place of work for how the customer service was. Sorry, my phone just buzzed and it popped up and it said, "We want you to rate my place of work. How was the service you received?" And I'm like, Okay, I appreciate that, Jerome. I didn't even know you had an Entropia website. Okay. I need to see. No, it really is. They are classified as animals. That's bizarre. I wonder why they did that. Oh, okay. So you're tracking who owns what estate, and are you tracking like revenue streams, or? Because that'd be really interesting information to have, especially on the owned land areas on Calypso and on Arcadia. But like this land area here isn't owned. It is my goal to eventually own it, but they can't sell it yet. What I'd love to do is I'd love to be able to get a hold of it and convince Team Cyrene to put McBain Manor on there. I did a video on Monrian Apartments, and we actually did a tour of several of them with the blessing of their owners, because it was the Monria. Actually, I did a tour of the penthouse, which I think it was actually DME's apartment that we did the tour of. But there is a Monrian apartment tour. I think some of my really old videos, there might be an apartment tour there, but it might be time for me to do one again. I do know that once the Toulon apartments come out and the Next Island apartments start coming out, I'm going to want to do a video on those because it's all new. I haven't seen a whole lot. I know that Next Island is either in the middle of implementing or has implemented a way to get an apartment through gameplay. No. And Virtual Sense will be doing the same for Toulon. But apartments are cool. I've contemplated putting the money out for one, but since apartments don't have a huge gameplay function, until my channel can support that purchase, I don't want to put the money way out, if that makes sense. To me, that's a cookie. That's an award I get for bringing my channel to a place where I can do that, funded by the channel's work. And by the channel's work, I mean both channel monetization when I earn it, and ad revenue from my website, McBainManor.com, and from my patrons like you. That's all going to take time, but one day I hope to do so. In the meantime, as new apartments come out, I will take the time to do some exploring. And maybe the next time I'm on Calypso, I should go to one of the cities, because I don't know if I've ever done a tour of Calypso apartments. I thought I did, but I think it was a long time ago. Yeah, FOMA condos go for about $50 a piece last I checked. They might be as high as 70 now. And with them having reduced the size of lootable PvP space, you don't have to make a challenge run against pirates in the immediate vicinity when trying to get to FOMA. So having an apartment on FOMA is a lot more practical than it used to be. You know, not as practical as being able to TP there from Calypso without paying a 7 ped fee. Although, no, you can't TP there from Calypso at all. But the idea, in theory, but still a lot better. Hey, Riot House. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we're talking about Cyrene the amazing loot table here, and in-game real estate. I think it's the dream of many Entropians to eventually be a landowner in game, and if not a landowner, to own one of the big ships. Oh, you can TP from Foma to Cali. Okay. Does it cost the 7 ped? So the only real big thing you missed was there was a 125 ped global in the first 6 minutes. In fact, I think it was the 3rd mob I killed. Other than that, it's just standard loot for Cyrene. Lots of paint. Oh, we also decided that the light green paint looks like mint. Like in mint chocolate chip. Yeah, no, if I've got to spend 7 ped to TP down, I'm just going to hop in my quad wing and go. I'll sacrifice the 5-minute flight. Thank you, Riot House. I'm actually really happy. That was the other reason I never thought about buying an apartment on Foma back when I started, was there was the 2 ped atmosphere interface fee. Anytime you left or got onto a planet, they charge you 2 ped. Well, they got rid of that, and I think that really helps with moving people back and forth between planets. Yes, Riot House. I am using the microphone on my Razer headset. I took your advice, or was it you or Boomstick who said, it doesn't matter. I brought my beloved Yeti back to Best Buy, triggered the Geek Squad replacement on it, and it's now in shipping. I'm hoping to have it here for Friday's stream, but in all likelihood it'll be next week. So I know my audio quality is not up to par with my norm, but it's certainly better than what it was sounding like the other day, even though it's a little less. The quality itself, the core quality is lower. You don't have all that interference because of the high gain. I don't know what happened to the gain on that microphone. It really kind of hurts my soul because I really love that mic, and I couldn't get the same color. Which, you know, it's not a huge deal, but you kind of get used to a thing, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it's the new one's on the way. We're going to get it set up as soon as it's here. And we're right back where we were before all the mess with the old mic happened. Hopefully. And if it doesn't get fixed because of that, then I know it's not the microphone, which will actually really irritate me. It'll actually irritate me more if it wasn't the microphone now, because I turned back in the microphone that I had. And like the color scheme of. But we'll get it done. Actually, I don't know. I thought I picked it up. Arc Challenge. Apparently I'm not. I'm going to have to look for the Arc Challenge for these guys, because I've got the Dire Weeds one. So I've got to find the Arc Challenge person here on Cyrene, and it's been a hot minute. It has absolutely been a hot minute. We're running low on sword here. No, they actually discontinued the GSPR plan for the Yeti microphone. I don't know if it's for, because I didn't have the Pro. I just had the core one. I don't know if they still have it for the Pro, but the thing is once you trigger the R plan on one, I don't think that the guy behind the counter realized, because he was newer to Best Buy. I used to work at Best Buy, full disclosure. I was both Geek Squad and the Blue Shirt at some point in my career. When you triggered the R plan for something, you don't get another R plan. It's not an option. You can't get a replacement plan on a replacement for a replacement plan you paid for once. So I'm willing to bet if I had just bought a new one, it would have been there as an option. I could be wrong. Global 61 ped. I could be wrong. He could have been absolutely right. But it occurred to me after I left that you can't buy a replacement plan when you're getting the replacement. The system just doesn't allow it. So that might have been the issue. I am actually going to not take the chance that this runs out in the middle of a fight. I'm going to drop that on there. Detach. Pop. Pop. Yes, I do use the skill scanner from time to time. I don't do it while I'm on stream, because a lot of people just get really bored with me. But here it is. I've got the Shikara Investifo, and I'll do a demonstration because you mentioned it. Oops. There we go. There's the duster. And it shows that they're fighting with Tyrellians on Cyrene for control of key locations. Strong health but small damage potential. Gives their core stats. And of course, it's not a piece of equipment, so it has no decay value. Look at the tats. Like, interesting selection of location for ink. But I like the concept behind the design. Oh. Okay, would you let me know, Riot House? It would be really appreciated. I will say, when it comes to retail, Best Buy is the place to work in retail. Even outside of retail, I would not have, I honestly probably wouldn't have left if it hadn't been for the schedule and for the commute. Love Best Buy, loved working for Best Buy. Not the most conducive to being a single father with a child in school. And I mean, that's just a function of the hours they have to operate in order to be successful, and the hours you have to operate when you're a single father. That's just part of that comes with the territory. The other problem with working at Best Buy is there's way too much temptation to walk out without the paycheck they just handed you, because you spend your whole day around all this really cool shit. And it's like, I got paid, time to go shopping. That was a constant temptation working there. Oh, they're moving to generalists. Okay. You know, you both have a good point on the legging boots. Hang on, let's well, we're going to take this one out. We'll scan another one so we can take a look at the guy's armor. So yeah, the boots are definitely either Chaos Space Marine Power Armor style, or I guess it's been a while since I've seen Waterworld. The armor as a whole is very reminiscent of like your Wasteland Weekend Steampunk, or Wasteland, or whatever, the Diesel Punk, I guess is the technical term for it. And that knife, I guess, is a standard rondel. Oh no, it's got the hatchet end, almost like a kukri, but it's not curved enough. I do want to know how it's got reach from like way the hell back there, though. Yeah, so one of my coworkers, he and his girlfriend worked in the store, and one day he picks up like just random ass watt cords, like random ass cords, over $100 worth, and we're all kind of chuckling and joking about it. And he goes home, she's still working, and she pops over to where my register is, and I'm like, oh man, you missed the fun. And she goes, what are you talking about? And I told her, and she's like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm like, oh shit. Chainswords would be an interesting addition to this game. I would have to agree. Give them good penetration. Absolutely. Probably be high penetration, high stab, but like no impact at all. So I don't know exactly how it works, Jerome. I know that MindArt gives access to the platform, and they do all the design work on the platform because it's all CryEngine, right? So from what I'm given to understand, Cyrene puts all the design elements in, and it's kind of like a sandbox, a sandbox area for developers. And then they present what they want to put into the game to MindArt, and MindArt checks it against game balance because that's their responsibility, and then they implement it in a version update. Thank you, cats. Not the way you're thinking. It's a stat in the game, which I know spoils the fun, but oh, it wouldn't be here. It'll be in armor. Hang on. See, penetration. It's a thing. Gavin, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You have to have an in-game account to play the game. So I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Which might make sense if I was not the target audience. Alright, we're doing good. I am very satisfied with my results tonight. 146 in eye oil, 78 in residue, all kinds of paint. Not bad. How much ammo do we have left? We're still above 600 pet in ammo. I think we're doing pretty good. Oh, okay. Thank you, Gavin, for clearing that part up, because I got very confused for a second there. You know, I just realized it was kind of mean of me to make this cat stand out here on the ice all this time. Which, I know it's a digital cat and the cat doesn't give a crap, but still. Yeah, Red Kryptonite actually gave me that idea when he started as my first patron back in January for the members society. It's just a matter of having enough patrons to make it worthwhile. Setting up a society wouldn't be difficult. The other thing is, I'm Serial Overdrive's number 2. Giving that up is one of those things where I'm going to have to come to terms with it eventually. It's, strike out on your own. But this, but it's come in time where it's time to do that. So expect some sort of an announcement about that in September on how I plan to implement that. Because a patron society is definitely going to be something that happens. Of course, that means that Roy needs to be getting his butt into this game. I don't even know if he's still in the chat. Come on. Whoops. You actually found seeds in your loot? Oh, so Jay, it's been suggested and I am considering setting up an in-game society, which is a guild. And it's only for patrons. So, if I set that up, you're going to have to, set up an avatar so that you can be a member of the society. Hi, Rarleo. So, and I'm going to call you Rar because I unfortunately probably just murdered your handle. So, I don't use an unlimited weapon because they're actually less efficient than limited weapons at my level. Unlimited weapons come into their own at level 100. And I'm going to pull a mob, so let's view information. We're going to lock that one. We'll view information on this. So like the Katsuichi Honor, if you're at level, is 65.8 efficiency versus 64.4. It has a smaller damage interval than the limited weapon, which is not a huge deal. What we really want to look at is look at the damage interval for me versus the max. When I can lose as much as 10 points of damage per shot, that really cuts down on my efficiency. And it's got below average durability because you're not using ammo. It has to be replaced with additional durability loss. When there's additional durability loss, you're losing money. So instead, I use ammo burner swords, which are almost universally limited, because they're more efficient for my level. Okay. The Archon sword may do that. What's the ped layout for it, and how much damage can you do with it? Hey, Vladimir. Thank you all for joining me tonight. If you could do me a favor and just smash the like button for me, that would really help me on YouTube's algorithm, and I appreciate the support. To answer Gavin, oh, grown fruits cannot be used to make Nutrio bars. Did not know that. And yeah, Jay, the game is free to play. It's just how much grind you're willing to put in. Pay to play is obviously the easier way to go, but you can absolutely pay at your pace. Before you make an avatar, let me know if you decide to do so, because I've got a couple of recommendations on how to go about it. Like going through Monria because of their huge support program for new players and the better loot table, or become a Cyrene player because of the better loot table and more variety when compared to Monria. There we go, and we're coming up to the end of our hunt here. I'm going to cut the hunt itself at 10:20 so we have time to get back. I want a tally. No, we got a lag spike. There we go. And see how well we did tonight compared to Repair Bill. And I think next time what I'll do is, I need to remember, but I think next time what I'll do is I will take account of how much ammo I start out with, so we can get a real good P&L. Yeah, I don't see myself dropping $200 on a sword that only does 53 damage with below average durability. It's not me. If I'm going to spend $200 on something, I'm going to buy myself an apartment or a Calypso land deed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the durability is an issue. The initial ped layout's a huge issue. the Katsuichis cost less and do more damage. But I understand the allure of using unlimited weapons because it's your weapon. You know, you keep using it over and over and over again. But if you're sinking money into it, it becomes less beneficial. Okay, we're gonna hop in our sleep near. I'm gonna pop back over to the camp. Novelty cat, it's a rare item. In this game, the biggest, well, just like in real life, the biggest cause of markup in this game is novelty. No. I mean, think about it, cat. Someone paid, what, a couple $100,000 for a banana duct taped to a wall? That's a true story for anyone who's wondering. Yes, someone actually paid over $100,000 at an art show for a banana duct taped to a wall. And then someone walked in and ate the damn banana. But the person who won the banana, or bought the banana, got a certificate because according to this artist, who was actually quite famous, it was not the banana itself, but the concept of the banana on a wall that was important. And I don't know what he was getting at, although I've got a couple of ideas. But still, it was just like, people will buy anything. They really will, if you know where to sell it. Okay, first things first, we're going to turn this in. And then I think we have the full rundown. Yeah, we got all the important ones down here. So we're going to convert what we've got. Let's see how much loot we gathered. Holy buckets, 289.73 pet in loot. Oh, crap. It's 25 August. Okay, clear that out. Let's hit the repair button. Only 97.25 in repairs. So before ammo burn, my total profit for the day is 192.48 pet. Now, I did not have the forethought to check what my ammo amount was before I started. So I'm going to make every effort to make sure I check in before I start to see what I start with for ammo. And then that will give us a real layout for what my results are. Because if I'm being successful, that's great. That's fantastic. But I want a realistic look at what the actual P&L is, and I can't do that unless I'm smart enough to, grab the information I need to make that actually accurate. Drop all this in my storage. My storage here is not nearly as well organized as Calypso. I'm working on it. I don't visit here enough. we're going to spend a little time here. And other than necessary supply runs, because I don't like the idea of spending the extra ped to get it shipped if I don't have to. Although I'll spend the 2, because you're going to burn that much oil flying back and forth. But you have to wait the 12 hours. I will not spend the 6. Oh, well, there we go. And then the flesh, which is probably the most disgusting part of all this. So, all right. So, yes, art is weird. It's absolutely weird. Art is subjective. I do think music is the type of art that makes the most sense. You know what, Gavin? That artist might have been full of himself. He still made a couple $100,000 off of it. So, if you think about it, it's not arrogance if you're really that good. If you're good enough to be able to sell a guy a banana duct tape to a wall for a couple $100,000, yeah, I got nothing. Props to him. I want to climb the tent. Damn it. Oh well. So, okay, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. We are, of course, on the road to 13 million subscribers, 1 subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. First off, thank you everyone for coming to my stream tonight and for all of your support. 14 people watching. If for those who have not done so yet, can please make sure they hit that thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. Hey, Whispers, you caught the very, very end of the stream. And we will be back on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, yeah, I should probably turn this in, in order to play again. Maybe I don't know if we're going to go after more dusters or if we're going to go after a different mob. Oh, did I? Oh, I already turned this in. But we will figure that out. In the meantime, I really appreciate all the support. And we will see you in the next one.